Today's agenda is to orientate you to this C Delta program. What is it about? What are the benefits for you? And how do you take part? My name is Hlengiwe Mfeka from SchoolNet South Africa. Hlengiwe Mfeka is a teacher by profession. I've been a classroom teacher for about 10 years or so, teaching maths, science, and left teaching in 2020 when I was teaching computer applications technology. I joined SchoolNet as a full-time facilitator and support specialist. I earned a title of being a Microsoft Innovative Educator in 2009. Then in 2021, this year, I'm one of the educators who've been awarded or who have earned a Microsoft Innovative Educator Expert badge. I am a project manager as well at SchoolNet South Africa. Part of what I do, I support teachers in their ICT integration journeys, where I coach them on how to design lessons, integrating technologies or integrating digital literacies. Yeah, so that is who facilitator, your facilitator today. Right. So I like to believe that as you are connecting, wherever you are connecting, you do have this question: what are we doing here? What is this about? Yes, we did receive communique, we received briefing of what this is possibly about, but we want to know more of what is this program about. We are going to respond to this question: what are we doing in this meeting? What is it all about? And what is in it for me? Right, so this is the program C Delta. C Delta is an acronym. It stands for Commonwealth Digital Education Leadership Training in Action. So this is a project in partnership. It's a project offered by Commonwealth of Learning in partnership with SchoolNet South Africa. Now, what are the goals of this program? The goals of the program is to promote digital education in Commonwealth nations. Now, all the countries which are in the Commonwealth nations, this program is offered to them. So it is an international program. The goal is not only to promote digital education in the Commonwealth nations, but the core of the program is to produce leaders in the field of digital education. So as you are here, we like to believe that you are a leader in your own space or in your own role. And by taking part in this program, you would become a digital education leader, but it doesn't end there. It's not the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is that you, as a digital education leader, you also produce other leaders who are similar like yourself. Right, now the question is, why C Delta, or what are the benefits of taking part in this program? The first one is that the you would explore the program in terms of digital literacies. You would also gain understanding as well as the potential of being digital literate. That is the first one. The second one is that you would learn about digital skills as well as digital leadership. We will unpack that clearly in our next slides. The third one is that you would develop and maintain a digital identity footprint. You would agree with me that times have changed, whereby employees or employers do not only depend on your hard copy CV that you send together with your application, but they also screen you through your digital activities. So it is important that you begin to develop one, as well as maintaining a healthy digital footprint. You will also be introduced to a set of tools as well as knowledge. This is very important. Remember, as a leader or as an educator, you interact with your students. As you interact with your students, you only use the tools that you know how to use. So everything that you do, you depend on the tools that you know how to use. Therefore, by taking part in this program, it will expand your toolkit. You will have a knowledge as well as skills of additional tools that you could use in your lectures or for planning your work. Now, what is also lovely about the program is that it focuses on both the educators as well as students. There are modules which are targeted to students, and there are modules which are targeted to educators. Lastly, it creates lifelong learners. So those are the benefits in summary. A cherry on top is that the program is loaded with 35 CPTD sales points. And in addition to that certificate, you also earn yourself a C Delta International Recognized Certificate. For example, you have an interest of finding a job abroad. So with this certificate, it is recognized anywhere in the world. It's not, it's not like a local program. Now, the question is, okay, how do we produce leaders in digital education? Now, what we need to take note of is that this program, the base of the program is that of digital literacies marked in yellow. Then the curriculum has two components. The first component is that of digital education, which is intended for both educators or practitioners as well as students. And then the other component is that of leaders, which is leadership in digital education or digital education leadership, your DEL. Now, so the idea is that you, as an individual, you need to develop the skills of digital education before you become a digital education leader. In other words, is that you should be able to walk the talk and not only and not only lead if it is necessary. So you need to know the stuff that needs to be led. That is the idea. Now, what are the expectations of you as a digital education leader? Is that you should model the effective use of ICTs. Now, underline the word effective use, not just using ICT as an add-on to what you are doing, but the effective use of ICT together with various strategies for delivering the content using digital technologies. You should be an influencer, of course. So you are a role model advocating for the effective use of digital resources. Right, so these are our modules that you would be introduced to or you will be studying should you take part in this course. It has 7 modules. The first 3 modules are for digital education on my left-hand side in my table, that is mobilizing resources, developing digital identities, as well as critically engaging with networks. Then we have the next component, which is the digital education leadership. We're looking at modules like enhancing access, making informed decisions, building capacity, as well as cultivating innovation in your world of work. Right, so what I'm going to do is to, entice you of what are different topics covered in each module. Of course, I won't cover all the modules because you would explore those when you register for the course. What I would like to take note is that the modules are designed such that you choose what you want to study. You set goals for yourself. It's self-paced, so you manage your own time. When do you want to complete? In normal cases, the assumption is that you will be able to complete within 16 to 20 hours. Of course, that is when you are dedicating your time fully to complete the course. What is also lovely about the course, yes, it is offered online. You take the course online. However, we understand that there are data issues, network problems in some of the areas. Therefore, we have offline modules, which means you can study the modules offline, then you connect when you need to complete the activities. Please do take a photo of this slide so that you have the copy of the URL for you to access the offline modules. Right, this is an extract from Module 1, from one unit. It's not everything which is covered in Module 1. There are different units within the module. So this is one unit for you to gain understanding or an idea of what to find in Module 1. We're looking at range of ICT tools and services. What is also lovely about the program, or what I like personally, is that it promotes creators of content, not only consumers of content, but people who would create content, not only create content, but share it with others. That's what it promotes. Um, what else? Benefits and challenges brought by ICT. Perhaps you would also like to learn about those so that when you know the stories of other people who are already there or who've been there, you will learn from their failures as well as their success. Now, looking at Module 2, which is mobilizing resources, there's quite a range of very interesting topics. Now, I would like you to browse through these 15 topics which are in this slide, and I'd like you to, share with me which one do you find interesting, which topic is of interest to you. I'm very keen to learn what is it that you find interesting from these 15 topics. Remember, again, this is just one unit. It's not everything covered in Module 2.
Hi, Hlengi. For me is topic number 2, the different audiences and different content. I'm interested in that one because I think it's important now in the digital world that you try to accommodate different learning types of different students. Thank you.
Lovely. I agree with you. In fact, when you are designing your lesson, the first thing that you need to take into consideration is the analysis of your audience so that you're able to meet their needs and understand their interest, context, and so forth. That's quite interesting. Thank you so much for sharing. Anyone else who also like to share?
Thank you very much, Hlengi. I'm interested in Module 11, Digital Curation. Sometimes you receive very huge files and you don't know exactly how to download them, because you are expected to change them into a different format. It is that transition from one format to another that you need to manage. So I'm interested in number 11, as well as 8 and 9. Managing your resources as well is important, because there's just so much out there. You need to
True,
know how to store and manage those resources.
true.
Thank you.
Fully agree with you. With the world of information and resources out there, you need to find a strategy on how do you manage those, and not only to manage, but to curate those resources, not only to curate what you are gathering, but also to curate what you are creating. On top of my head, I'm thinking of one that maybe would be of interest to you, but anyway, you would find a lot more when you learn about this in unit as topic number 11. I'd like to share with you Wakelet. It's really amazing. Wakelet.com. It's WAKELET.com, Wakelet. What I love about Wakelet is that it's not only for curating content, but also it's for networking with other people. Not only networking with other people, but also you have access to resources uploaded by other people, of course, with their permission, because um, you are able to you are able to flag your resources for public use or for private use. So that's really amazing. Now, what I also like about Wakelet, obviously, I'm very passionate about Wakelet. It's working for me. What I also love is that you can use Wakelet for teaching purposes with your students, where you create resources or you collect resources, then you can share them as assignments with them, and they are able to engage with you in the same platform. It's really amazing. Right. Thank you so much for sharing. Zotumo, do we have any responses from our chat before we proceed?
Yes, just one from Patricia. She says, how to be critical is important given the current complaints on shallow learning.
How to be critical, of course, that's that is one of the challenges we encounter as educators. How do we develop critical thinking in our students? Also, yourself as an individual, how do you how do you critically evaluate the information, like the previous speaker mentioned, that we have loads and loads of information there. How do you then, select the most appropriate and valuable, credible information? So, as you can see, there are really amazing topics that you would be delving into when you take on the course. Then we've got our module 3, which is specifically looking at engaging with networks. What I also like, it introduces you to open networks. It's not only open networks, it also introduces you to open resources, your OERs that you use free of charge. Not only using them, but creating your own open educational resources. I'm also thinking of a case where you create your own professional learning communities, open it for other people. Because what we create, what we're establishing here is leaders who are innovative, who are initiative, not only to rely on other people who have created something, then there's nothing wrong with that, but we are encouraging that we become, creators ourselves. Then we have our module 4, which is enhancing access. You would see when you study these modules that they are somehow interrelated. As you can see here, it's expanding more on your OERs. It's expanding more on impact of paywalls, that is being safe online and so forth. So I would go as far as module 4, sharing what is covered in these modules. Now the question is, okay, Hlengi, someone is sitting there and saying, okay, Hlengi, this is really amazing. How do I take part? Now, for you to take part, the very first step is that you need to register on the C Delta platform. Now, let's say, with us as academics, we are the busiest individuals in the sector. You are very busy. Perhaps you are busy with your students' work or your personal, studies, and you don't have time. You say, "Oh, yeah, wow, lovely, but I don't have time." Let me say this to you. When you register on the C Delta platform, the intention won't be only to take on the course, but also to connect with other members who joined in this C Delta platform, where you would engage, interact, and connect with other individuals who are, doing exactly the same as you are, where you share perhaps same responsibilities and so forth. You can then learn from them, exchange ideas, resources. You can find that. And what is lovely about the platform, as I mentioned earlier on, is that it's a global platform. So you connect with individuals from other parts of the world. The second one is that you write a pre-test that is mandatory. Once you have registered, you need to take on a pre-test. A pre-test is a diagnostic assessment to identify your learning gaps. Remember, we have 7 modules here. With these 7 modules, you find that you are well versed with module 3. Therefore, you don't necessarily need to spend time, studying module 3 or working on the activities in module 3. I mean, completing the pretest would tell you or would inform you of the areas of study you need to focus on. Right. And then the number 3, that is for you to study the course. Remember, when you study the course, you don't study the course in a linear way. You start with what you need, or with your most immediate need subjects or topics. And if you feel good, you are ready to write a post test at any stage, you are free to write a post test. Post test is the final evaluation. Once you have written the post test, that is when you receive or you earn your C Delta certificate. Once you have earned your C Delta certificate and you are interested in earning the SACE one, you need to submit the certificate to us, SchoolNet. Then we will be able to send you your SACE certificate. Right. I have highlighted in red step number 5 and step number 6. This opportunity is available until the end of this month. When I'm saying it's available until the end of this month, it is funded. You don't pay anything towards this. So if you register within this period, not to complete studying the course, but the registration, meaning that you have access to the study material that is free of charge, no hidden cost. There is no time where you will be expected to pay anything. Right. We do receive funding from Commonwealth of Learning from time to time to mobilize the program in South Africa. Should that happen, for example, this is our 3rd iteration. which is ending end of September. Should it happen that Commonwealth extend this offer, at times you find that we need trainers of the program. So if you participate in the program, you complete the post test, you stand a chance of being invited to a master training where you will be trained to become a trainer for the program. And you are able to train either teachers or students where you receive an honorarium fee, which is stipulated by the program at that particular time. But number 5 and number 6 is not current, is no longer available because of time. Of course, we're about to and we are coming to an end of the project. Yeah, so those are the steps that you follow in participating in the program. Now, I mentioned step number 1 as a registration process. For you to register, you need this URL. Please take a photo of this slide so that you have access to the URL. My colleague Sotumo will also post this link in our chat for quick access. Should you wish to register there and there, as you know, as I conclude with the presentation. So this is the URL. I just want to take you through the form that you would need to complete as part of the registration. You need your first name, last name, gender, and you need to provide your active email. Reason being, for you to activate your account, they will send a link to your email, which you will need to have access to your email. Then password, they are not requesting password of your email, but they are asking you to create a password that you would use when you log into the system. And this password, you need to there is a rule for creating a password. You need caps, you need small letters, you need a symbol and a number. And if you don't follow this rule, unfortunately, when you click on register, it will take you back and indicate to you what there are missing elements in your password. For example, my name is Hlengiwe. So if I create my password, I would use H as a capital letter, the rest small letters, at, you know, at is my symbol, 2021, it's my numbers. Then I would need to confirm. Please note that the platform is case sensitive. So you should take note where you have typed a capital letter, it should always be a capital letter, even when you log into the system. It's unlike Google, where with your email address, like your Google email address, it's not case sensitive. It will accept even whether you type a capital letter or not. Another important point to note is that when you join the course as part of the organization. You don't join as an individual. That is important. SchoolNet South Africa are the providers of the program. Therefore, we need to keep record of who we have reached and under South Africa. Therefore, that is why it's important that you register under SchoolNet South Africa. So you would select as part of the organization, then you scroll down, look for SchoolNet South Africa. Once your name is on our database, you will find that next time around, UFH will be listed as one of the organizations. But if we are the providers of the program, still, even if you see your institution, please do not register under your institution other than SchoolNet South Africa. Right, so where you need to select a user type, you select teacher or practitioner, right? That's one. It's either teacher or practitioner, or as a student. Even if you are enrolled as a student in your institution or another institution, but please select educate teacher or practitioner. Reason being, remember, as a practitioner, you need to complete all 7 modules for you to become a digital education leader. 3 modules are for students, specifically for students. Then you click on register. Right, once you have clicked on register, it will send you an email with a link to click on it to activate your account. Then you will be able to log in using your credentials. We've got a video registration guide should you encounter problems while you are registering. Here is the link which will take you through step by step on how do you complete the registration process. Again, remember to register as part of the organization under SchoolNet South Africa. There is a list there of different institutions, so it is in alphabetical order. You need to scroll down until you reach SIS, then you try to find SchoolNet South Africa. You may want to take a photo of this slide again so that you have a copy of this URL should you get stuck. However, please feel free to contact us at any time. If you're having problems, we will gladly support you. Once you have logged in, okay, once you've registered and logged in, this is how your dashboard would look like. It will be your dashboard. And on the right-hand side, when you complete your pre-test, you will have your pre-test score. For the pre-test, you need to obtain 40%. You also receive a certificate for pre-test, but you don't necessarily need to pass the pre-test. Obviously, it's a diagnostic assessment. If you fail it, don't feel bad about it. It's an indication of how much you still need to learn. But I know there are individuals who don't want to see a fail on their script. Of course, you can retake the pre-test until you see a pass or until you receive a certificate. Then you study the modules. Once you've studied the modules, you can attempt the post-test at any stage. Remember that one. Then you would receive your post-test certificate. Should you fail your post-test, you have numerous attempts. You can retake it as many times as you need until you pass. Even if you are not satisfied with your score, perhaps you obtained 55% when you are that kind of student who doesn't do average. You want to be the best. You can still retake until you get a score you are happy with. With the certificates, you can save your certificate in your device. You can print it if you like. So where to from here is to complete the pre-test, go through the modules. Remember, they are self-paced at your own time. But we do recommend that when you start, try to complete as soon as you possibly can so that you don't forget, you don't drag it too long. Then you complete the post test. Once you've passed your post test, do submit your post test certificate to zodumo@schoolnet.org.za so that we can issue you with your SACE endorsed certificate if you do need one.
Good afternoon. I'm Elzette van Niekerk from University of Fort Hare. I just want to say I don't see University of Fort Hare under the institutions. I've just registered now while you were talking, but there's no University of Fort Hare there.
Yes, remember we are engaging with University of Fort Hare for the first time.
Okay.
Yes, so After you have registered or anyone from UFH have registered, we will send your information to C Delta, then they would load you in the list of institutions. However, even
Okay.
if there was UFH, remember you register under SchoolNet South Africa, you should see it in the list.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
Right, super. Any other questions? No questions.
Hi,
Comments?
Hlengi. Hi, Hlengi.
Hi.
Can we share this information with other individuals as much as possible? Or you have a limited number of people who can register for the course?
I love this question. I love this question. Yes, please do share with other individuals who perhaps did not make it to this meeting and you know that they may be interested. Also, please feel free to share it with your students.
Thank you very much, Hlengi.
Right. Now, while we are in the month of September, should you have a group of people, whether it's students or other colleagues whom you are sharing this information with, please do send us their information, right? During this time of September. Right. Now, there is someone who wanted to say something.
Yes, Klengi, my hand was up. Can you go back, I think, to the first slide where you shared the link for the offline book or whatever? I think I missed that one
This
when
is
you
the
were.
one.
Oh, is that?
Offline modules. That is the
Yes.
offline content. Yes, this is the one.
All right. Yeah, just stay there for a moment, please.
No worries. We're gonna be here until you're done. Right. With this one, you need to register. Once you have registered, you can simply use this link to access the PDF version. It's a PDF of Module 1 to Module 7. Everything is there in those PDFs.
Is that VJJEV93, ne? Okay,
Yes,
thank
it's
you.
VJJEV93.
Thanks, Klengi. What is the university enrollment number? You said you should say SchoolNet. Is that so?
Okay, about that one, please leave it blank.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Klengi,
Yes, I'm here.
I just want to find out if the groups have to be affiliated to a university. Can it be people outside of Forte, for example?
Yes. You can
It
have
can be.
people outside of UFH.
Okay. They don't have to come from another university.
It doesn't matter even if they come from another university. This program, remember, it's for higher education institutions as well as basic education institutions.
Okay, thank you very much.
So do you mean, Hlengi, we can invite everybody we know?
Everybody you know who will find this relevant to their roles.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, Klengi, I think being someone who has been involved in so many of the programs by SchoolNet, I've always found them very helpful in my work.
Great stuff. Thanks, Patricia.
Nothing, Hlengi.
All right. Should you have any questions or you want to communicate with us, you need assistance or support, please feel free to email zotumo@schoolnet.org.za. We will attend to your needs. Thank you.
I think I'm interested in this. You know, I'm from the Faculty of Health Sciences, and then my most interest is, with this COVID, we are not always able to meet our students in terms of demonstrations. So I really want to enhance my digital use, especially for also things that are relating to practical education.
True.
So I'm really looking forward to it.
Exactly. Like you remember, I mentioned that, whatever you do is limited to the knowledge and skills that you possess at that particular time. So this program allow you to expand and develop yourself. Thanks so much for joining in. Do connect with us about this program, or should you have people whom you think may be interested, you want us to explain in detail, please feel free to connect with us. Thank you.